Hello everybody, it's Kate Plays back again with the much awaited next video in our Coral Cove series. Today we are building for the adorable Quokka, but before we jump into that video, let's give some updates to our Wallaby babies in Wallaby Waypoint. So they are all doing fantastic. We have 3 babies. We have 2 boys. We named them Wesley and Wade. And we have one girl named Whisper. We now have a mob of W named Wallabies. The babies love to hop around all day. They love the habitat. One of their favorite things to do is cuddle their moms, like you just saw. And they are just all around adorable. Look at them hop. The habitat is looking fantastic. There is plenty of room for more. Coral Cove is hoping to continue to expand the mob so that they can contribute to conservation efforts in the wild. Here's a viewpoint from our side view for guests who don't want to walk through the waypoint. It's looking really great, and overall I'm really happy with how it turned out. So today we are going to have a speed build on the Quokka corner, which we're going to get started on in just a moment. And during this time, I'll tell you about why it's taken me so long and what we can expect for Coral Cove and the channel to come in the future. So stick around. Alrighty, so as we jump into the speed build, I just want to first thank everybody for their patience with me on this video upload. I know it did take me a little bit longer than usual, especially since I was uploading weekly with the Planning a Zoo mini-series. So your patience is greatly appreciated. Life sometimes gets in the way of our plans for creatives on YouTube, and it just so happens that that is what happened to me. So let me do some splaining about what happened as you watch me progress through this build. So the first thing that happened in life was my birthday. So I took a vacation, and my fiance, I, and some family and some friends spent some time doing fun things for my birthday. And because of that, I took some time off from YouTube and creating, which I hope is excusable. Second of all is school. So I'm not sure if I've mentioned before, but I am in school to become a graphic designer, and sometimes I have to sacrifice doing Planet Zoo and YouTube for schoolwork. And although it may not be as fun, sometimes it is with graphic design. It's a necessity. So that kept me working on other things for a little while as well. And another thing that's kept me busy is work. So outside of creating, I am a leadership and development specialist at a large organization. So we are launching some new performance management software for our team, and it's a big deal, which means I'm training a lot of leaders on how to use that tool, which takes up a lot of my time and energy and means I don't have a lot left to play Planet Zoo after work. But that's all right. It'll be over before we know it, and things will be back to normal. Change is a constant at my position, so just always got to be ready and always got to be flexible, right? So all of those things combined have kept me a little busy. But when I have been in Planet Zoo recently, one other item has kept me working on something else besides Coral Cove. And that item is a community zoo that I am taking part in. It's a really, really awesome community zoo from a really awesome Discord and YouTube channel from one of my fellow YouTube creators here on YouTube. And his name is Gunther, and he has an awesome Discord and YouTube channel at Gunther's Gaming. Check it out. I will link it in the description. And I am taking part in their community zoo this week as well. So I have been immersed in that project and really loving what I've got going. So I highly recommend that you check out that Discord channel and YouTube channel linked in my description. Gunter is awesome. The community there is awesome. And you will get a lot of inspiration and assistance if you need it there. So I highly recommend it. Check it out. Like I said, I will link that in my description in this video. So that's a lot of things that have been keeping me from completing this Quokka Corner build, but that is not the only thing. The final thing that has been keeping me from this build is video editing block. I don't know what else to call it. That simply is what it is. I don't have any kinds of blocks for building in Planet Zoo right now, but for recording the process and editing the process, I'm struggling. I feel like I record everything, and I know you all don't want to see everything. And this leads me to talk about the next point, which will hopefully stifle my video editing block with some assistance from you all, my community. So because I haven't been enjoying my video editing / recording style, I'm wanting to make some changes, and I would love some suggestions on how to do that. And in order for you to make an informed suggestion, you probably need to know what it is that I'm not liking. So, one, I move around so much when I build. I love to what are they? Sorry. I love to see things from all angles, and I just can't help but move around. So I end up having to make a lot of cuts to avoid a lot of the movement for the viewers that could be jarring. So I cut out a lot of stuff, but a lot of it's unimportant stuff. So I'm thinking I should make a change to the way I film and edit these videos for you all. And I have some ideas, and let me know your ideas or what you think in the comment section so that I can make sure to meet my viewers where they want to be, right? So my first idea is to only show key moments, like building key parts of the structure or key important things, and then only film it from 1 to 2 angles while building it so that you all don't get that jarring happening. And then show the rest in a live tour instead of showing it in the actual speed build. So that's one thought. The next is to do like a stop motion style on some of my builds. That might be harder on bigger builds, but I've always been interested in learning or trying a stop motion speed build. So if you're interested in that, that might be fun for me. It might be another way for me to deal with my camera movement, which I believe is my biggest struggle with my filming and editing process, just for you all as the viewer. So let me know what you think. Let me know any additional ideas that you have, and I will see how I can incorporate that into future videos. So next thing to talk about on the list was the plans for this build you've been watching. And to be quite honest with you, I had no plan. I just knew I wanted to build for the Quokka because that was this area, and started building. I thought about an idea for a building where you could both walk in and see an indoor Quokka area, you could walk by the outside and see an outdoor Quokka area, and go an up level and see kind of above the Quokka area. Since they're so small, I wanted multiple viewing areas. So that's what I went with. Just started grabbing things out of the build catalog and building. So also with that being said, next item for housekeeping is that I lost some footage, and we're about to see here that from building this, the back has no foliage. And then we're going to jump around a little bit and there's going to be foliage. And somehow I have completely lost the footage of me doing the foliage and putting some signs and detailing on the top level. I think it might have been me trying to clear out my video files because they were getting big. We'll mention that in just a second. Um, and in that process, I accidentally deleted all of this work I'd done back here that you can see now with the mesh, the foliage. Eek. Oh well, it's okay. I'm gonna do a quick live tour at the end of this video to show what it looks like now from all angles. And hopefully I can talk about anything that was big that you may have missed. Ugh. Oops. I feel like every YouTuber I know has said that at least once. Something has happened with their footage, so here we are. But anyways, back to the plans for this build and for Coral Cove. Again, I had no real plans for this build. It really kind of came together. I like it. It's pretty. There's a lot of space, and it's not done yet. And we'll talk about that in the live tour because I'm not quite satisfied with everything, and there's some empty spaces that I need some help filling, and I would love to hear your suggestions. So yeah, we're gonna get to that in the live tour, and I will show you what I mean. But outside of the Quokka corner, what else do we have planned for Coral Cove? Well, we are actually just going to work our way around this path in order of direction to continue to build the habitats as we come on to their area. So I believe next is the koala, but do not hold me to that. But we're just going to keep going down the pathway and making habitats. So it's at this point in the build where I realize that I always overestimate the size of Planet Zoo people and scaling. Does anybody else have this issue? I just always am off. And I realized that my fancy mesh little railing, I guess you call it, would not work because the Planet Zoo people would not be able to see over it. So thank you, Archer, for helping me out. I need to remember to do that early on in my builds so that I can make sure everything looks right and to scale. But as Adam Up says, if something doesn't look right, fix it, try it again. And I think I'm much happier with the windows anyways, even though it's rather tall in that area. So yeah. And even though you didn't catch the foliage of the back area, I did manage to keep the foliage videos from the front area. It's not completely done yet. I am going to be removing the curbs on the paths. I kind of really like the natural path that I have going, but the curbs will tell me the edges of them if I'd like to add a different curb, like a rock kind of curb or something like that to the zoo in the future, which I may do for cohesiveness. But it is an island beach zoo, so I don't know, the natural path with the sand I think kind of looks nice. Tell me your thoughts. Lots of things to tell me your thoughts about in the comments. So I didn't make a script for this video or anything like that. I just wrote down some key points that I wanted to cover. And so if it seems a little bit all over the place or weird or whatever, I apologize. Thank you so much for hanging with me and being patient again as I worked through all of those life things and events that kept me from getting this video out to you. Now, I do plan on continuing Coral Cove. We're going to make it through this zoo. I really love it so far. It's turning out great. I love the habitats that we've built, the Wallaby Waypoint and the Quokka Corner. They're both adorable. So I have no intentions of stopping the zoo. We are going to continue it and see it to fruition. And when it's done, it will be uploaded to the workshop for you to walk through yourself and play with. And yeah. So I did want to add this little enrichment item I saw in a Quokka exhibit in the, I think it was Zoolex or Zoo Chat, one of the two, when I was doing my research. And I think it's adorable. It's really cute. It's just like a little hut. And even though they have beds in here, I wanted to give them some more items. So yeah, we're making it look like a den in here, and I think it ends up turning out really nice. But in the walkthrough, you'll see there's some things I would love some advice on how to improve it and make it look even better. There's a couple things. I think I want to say 2 or 3 items that in the live walkthrough in just a couple minutes here, I'll ask you for your advice of what you think I could either include in those areas or improve in those areas. That way you two can have a say in the build of the Quokka corner in Coral Cove. So we are nearing the end of the footage I have, and we're going to get to the live tour in just a moment. But there's just a couple things left to do. Add some lights. So I added some lights, and I also added these screens a little bit ago, and we're going to talk about that in the live tour, but I'd love it to be an educational area up there. There's just a few final details to make to get the build looking just right. And I really hope that you've enjoyed this style of video. I did speed it up just a little bit and cut out quite a bit of the movement, even though I feel like I struggle with cutting out all of the movement when I am recording all of what I'm doing, which is why I think one of the suggestions I made earlier for video style might help improve that. The last thing to do before jumping into the live tour is to upgrade the sign for the Quokka corner. I did only put those letters down just as a placeholder so that I knew I needed to come back and work on the sign and get that done. So here we are making the sign look a little bit better so that it's more inviting for people to come in and check out the Quokka corner. So with that being said, we are gonna go hop on over into the live view of Quokka corner and take a live tour of what we've got going on at Coral Cove. Alrighty, so here we are in the live tour, and we are right in front of the Wallaby waypoint habitat. I will ensure to get some signage put up here soon and show that off. I recently made an Instagram account, so I will put that in the description as well as in the bio of the channel, and I will be posting signage photos of Wallaby waypoint and Quokka corner on this side very soon via my Instagram. So be sure to follow if you'd like, and I look forward to seeing you there. But on with the tour. We are not going to walk this direction quite yet for Quokka corner, but we will go ahead and check out the front viewing area to Wallaby waypoint for guests that do not want to go inside the walkthrough. Look at them hopping around. So let's go ahead and take the Wallaby waypoint. When you first walk through, you see their den. We've got a couple different areas to walk through. Love the foliage work in here. And the Oceana fence recolored worked really well. Here is their little watering hole. And we have the Quokka corner building just peeking out up in the top corner. We're gonna walk on over. I'm going to be doing up the paths quite a bit, But this will be a beautiful view once the habitats are in and the coastline is really pretty there. And here we are at Quokka Corner. So our front sign is looking good. I really like it. But as we walk in here comes my first question. Oh, little jump in Quokka. But my first question for you all is, how do I fill this room if I want the top room to be the main educational area? What do I do with this hallway? I would love for you to help me work that out. Their little area in here is very cute. As we could see earlier, they can get in here. One was jumping. We are going to go ahead and go to the top level. This will really be a beautiful view once we have it all finished. I did start a little staff building there. I will share that building with you all in just a little bit. So let's turn the corner and come to my second question for you all. I have put some billboards on this area, and there's a photo on the two billboards of a Oceania coast. And I would love to put some boards over this with various different educational centers with information about quokkas and their habitat and what they eat and conservation and things like that. Information about our quokkas. So that's the future for that wall. But what should I do with the rest of it? Got the nice lights and the benches, but it is kind of empty. So what do we do? Let's go ahead and take a peek and see if we can see any quokkas. They're very small, so they are hard to see sometimes. Oh, there's one. Oh, a keeper must have just reset some enrichment. Oh, we had our baby. We're going to have to go check that out. So let's go ahead and walk on down. And we're going to be a bad guest and kind of see how we can sneak on through here. Look at that. We are now in the Quokka exhibit. Let's go check out our baby. Oh, we've got mama, dada, and baby all in the same area. So cute. So the mom's name is Velvet, but we do not have a name for the dad or the baby that we just had. Velvet was rescued from a forest fire area and is now calling Quokka Corner her home. And the mail just recently came to us as a part of the illegal trading program. Was found in some bad conditions, and as you can see, they have hit it off, but Coral Cove hasn't found a name that's stuck yet, and we are already having a baby. So they need your help. What do we name the male quokka and our brand new baby? How cute. Well, we do have a feeding platform that's actually hidden underneath the ground right there. but you don't see that unless the keeper comes in. But we're going to be bad guests again and walk right over these rocks. There we go. And take a look at our completed fence and habitat. I did lose the footage of creating this fence, but it turned out pretty good. They can hop pretty high as we saw at the beginning, so I just wanted to contain that with a little ridge and a fence. Oh, little baby going to get some water. Well, that does bring us to the end of the live tour. I just want to say thank you again for your patience with the upload on this video. I do hope you enjoyed. Be on the lookout for a poll on the video editing styles you would like to see most in the future. And please make sure to head on over to the comments and let me know what should I do with the 2 interior spaces on this build to bring them more to life. And last but not least, don't forget to check out Gunter's Gaming on YouTube and his Discord community, as well as their community zoo and other projects they have going on if you're looking for a Planet Zoo community that's fun, engaging, and welcoming. I really hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening or day, whatever it is where you are located. Thank you again for watching. It's Kate Blaze, and I wish you all happy zookeeping.